Okay, everything went well, as it always does with your stuff. So, feel like with the sweep picking, basically at a point, same way we did with like finger tapping and bends. Like, you know what to do, you can do what you like with them. What I'm gonna finish with here on the sweep thing is just a few other shapes, two ways of doing like the same arpeggio, issues I have with them, and things we can do with them. But like if you want to push your sweeping as far as possible, I'm going to recommend you go back to like the small stuff. I can't remember how fast you got the two string stuff, meaning like these things here, those things. So I would see at least each individual one with 16th notes. You know, your 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4, something like that. Get that to at least 180. I think that's a good thing to do if you want fast sweep picking, that is. Um, and just do each one individually, that's fine. And then working on the doing that individually as well. I find for myself, like when I've recently worked on doing some sweep stuff, like it's super helpful to reach high speeds just doing one up and down thing. So instead of linking a bunch together at once, just do the one. And just push that as far as you can before you get to a point of, looping it, like doing several in a row. So, for example, so let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just getting that sweep down. Probably still a good idea to end that with the downstroke. So when you are ready to do multiple ones, you're ready to jump into that. But like pushing this thing really far, or like any of the sweep shapes really far, what you can do, let's go a bit higher here. So like as I'm working something up like this, doing this the one time, when I reach a point where like I'm having just the damnedest time keeping up with it, maybe my arm is getting really stiff, this is something that really helps me that you can try with any of this stuff, like anything that you do really. Instead of like trying to hit all 6 notes per click like I'm doing right now, you can try this where you like change the subdivision going back into the 6. So you're going to do like 1, 2, 3, and then 6. So like this, you got your 1 note per click, then 2. So you like go 1, then 2, then 3 notes a click, then all 6. So I'm going to do each one twice so it's easier to hear. So I find doing that really helps me get through some plateaus, like working on, let's see how this goes. Like this shape we've done. Stuff like that really helps, like when I'm really pushing the speed, because it helps me kind of like do like mini warm-ups into the rep. Tell my fingers where to go. That was a bad ending. So yeah, I'm just kind of working up that way. So I've had a lot of good success with that, trying to push my sweep picking to faster speeds. So that's something you can try with any of the stuff that we've done so far, including this new stuff here. So that was just all a practice strategy that you could start using if you really want to push the sweep picking as far as you can. But yeah, like do small pieces, small ones. And then what you can do, or what I like to do, once you've reached, let's say, oh hell, I'll just keep going here. Can I do it at 160? Question the timing of that. I'm trying to find a speed I'm really struggling with. So let's just say right there, like I'm not going to go any faster than that. Then I'll like try and do it twice. Let's hit that note. Yeah, that was awful. All right, so let's say getting 2 times 2 on 180 is just not happening. So I'll drop it like 10 or 20 beats per minute and then see if I can do it there. So basically what I'll do is I'll work up a single go through, just one time through, whatever shape I want to work on. Get that as fast as I possibly can, and then I do like the repetition stuff we do. Drop it 10 or 20, and then start trying to add in repeats there. So this way, it just kind of solidifies the stuff that you worked on. And you can start off doing it this way as well. And then work up to like 3 and then 4 repetitions, something like that would be good. So again, do that with like small shapes, like do it like the 2-string idea, and then the 3, and then eventually doing like the 5. Look up any shapes that you can find out there if you want to learn more. Make up your own. That's the thing you can do as well. So these guys here, so the 6-string shapes are what I was given back when I was taking lessons, and some of these are just a ridiculous stretch. And when I was taught, I was actually not given any fingering suggestions. It was basically like, here are the notes, have at it. I don't even think I asked for any finger suggestions, so that's probably on me. But either way, basically, here's your E minor shape, and then there's another E minor shape right there, and then you're hammering onto that E note again. And it's been a long time since I practiced a 6-string thing. So you can do that. Now, notice I left pick direction out right here. So one thing I noticed with doing 6-string stuff like that is the same issue we kind of ran into doing the 5-string. It's when you get going really fast, you basically end up hitting an upstroke there at the end of the sweep, and then you do another downstroke to start it again on the same note. So we did talk about initially not hitting that bottom note twice. You basically got to hit that on the upstroke, switch the pick direction around to hit that on the downstroke right after that. And it's kind of awkward to do with going really fast, which is why hitting it twice probably more optimal to go insanely fast. So if you want to practice this guy, you could start off at the beginning by changing the angle or how you're signing the pick after that last upstroke to begin a downstroke again. So basically down all the way here, up, 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 and then you turn your arm that way so you can begin the downstrokes again. But once you get going really fast, though, you might need to practice hitting that on the up and then begin it again with another down. But I wouldn't even bother touching this thing for serious practice until you can get the smaller shapes going really, really fast. But that's because they're just so unbelievably god awful hard to do. The thing right after it, though, that's a more common 5-string way of playing the same thing. The same notes. Now, I see a lot of people do it like this. Rolling the ring finger. But then, man, I always get that on the way back. Like, get that damn chord on the way back. So I think what happens is when you see people do this, they're already going fast with it. So you can't hear that chord come through. But the idea of practicing something like this, even slow, and having that happen, I can't let it happen. So what I like to do finger-wise is basically think of like I'm holding an A minor chord right here. So going middle, third, middle, first, middle, third, middle, fourth, like that. So I feel like I can keep it cleaner that way. It also makes it, I was going to say easier to do that, but even with the finger roll, it'd be the same thing. So anyway, yeah, it's just getting these things as fast as I would like is just ridiculously hard for me. But the principles would end up being the same. You know, you want to put the time in for it. So the next one, F sharp diminished. Huge stretch up there. Not comfortable at all. And I haven't even bothered trying to learn this one. But that is how you would do it if you wanted to do it. And then the major one here, when I was first learning how to do this, what I would do is go pinky, middle, or pinky, ring finger, and then roll my middle finger, and then come down third, second, and first. So I felt like trying to roll it backwards just didn't work. But I could do it like that, and that seemed to be okay. So rolling this going up, that worked okay. I wasn't getting any weird chords. But coming back down, because I don't want to have any accidental chords, I'd always go third, second, and first. And then this way, I find it's not terrible keeping it clean to roll across, as long as you have your finger at a pretty big angle here. Feels really awkward though. My concern is when I do this quick, I lose at least one of the notes on the way back down. So I still think it might be best to come back down like that. But I can also see how some decent practice, you can get away with a big old finger roll on just a major chord. The minor chord, again, rolling it like that, it's too risky, and you get that dang chord in there, and I don't like that. So I would recommend doing the minor chord shape, again, use all your fingers there. So first, fourth, middle, third, middle, first. The diminished, and I have never practiced doing this one. And then the major, you can get away with a roll. It sounds pretty okay. So, I think that's about it for the sweeping. But that means we get to focus on other stuff too. So, I believe you understand the principles of like how to work these things up. You can always connect these things in any which way that you want. So yeah, just like with the bends and the finger tapping, we could have done more and more and more and more and more. But you know, once the general idea is there and you got some examples down, then it's time to run with it and do what you will with it. But we still got plenty of stuff to learn and work on. Plenty. Plenty, plenty. But yeah, any questions with the sweeping, let me know. Let's get to the new number 1 here for the rhythm. Let me switch this over. That was wrong. Okay. Alright, so this one is pretty dang difficult to make sure everything is where it belongs. So every bar is the same. And the only time you do a downstroke is at the beginning of each bar. Everything else is upstroke. Everything else is on the upstroke. So it's one of those things you got to be very careful that your upstrokes are not drifting into where the downstrokes are supposed to be. So let's give this a go. 60. Let me turn this up a little bit. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to 90 next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 120 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at that tempo right there, it definitely feels very, very challenging for me. Let's go to 130. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I felt like that drifted. 1, 2, 3, 4. That definitely drifted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I don't think 140's happening today. 1, 2, 3, 4. God damn. Yeah, it's very, very difficult to make sure everything is where it belongs. So, this is not one to get going crazy fast. Now, if you had drums to follow along with, that's a different story. But trying to do it with just a metronome, that makes it really, really tough. Let's try the repeats at 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it really helps to make sure you can feel your foot tapping when the metronome does. Really helps to make sure you're in the right place with all that. And we're going to move into single note picking with the 16th notes. If you hit 180, let me know. As soon as you're about to attempt playing this at 180, make a video and send it over, because you might get it. So yeah, when it comes to this type of thing here, hitting 180, if you're doing that or faster, we can definitely move on to other stuff sooner. So 180 is the get to move on early goal speed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. $100. 1, 2, 3, 4. 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. See, those were the sweep shapes. Was that okay? I think I may have closed something that I didn't mean to. Oh, there it is. There it is. So yeah, next thing for the scales, doing all 6 strings once again. Going down one shape. Up the next. Down the next. Up the next. And just working our way down to the open position. And then 2 other things. I know it might seem like a lot. So when it comes to the sweep picking stuff, the new shapes, like if you want to make a video playing them, you can. But the things I'm looking for are numbers 1 and 2. The scales. And no need to play this stuff on video. Just make sure you can get through everything. So we have the same progression done in multiple places. Something like we've done with other things. So all that right there is the whole progression. So what it's doing is going between the power chord and the first inversion. Power chord, first inversion. Power chord, first inversion. Power chord, first inversion, and then repeat. So this is just to help you get used to the new shapes and visualize how we can go from the power chord to the first inversion. And just one and done. One and done. That's all you got to do. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variations of that one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variations of the other one. So if you did like 3 per day, you'd be done with it pretty quick. I believe you got the skill to go through this stuff pretty fast. So you can knock it all out in one day if you wanted. But yeah, just one and done. One good take with each progression. That's all you need to do. No need to go back, redo anything. Just one and done, and you're good. Okay, I think that covers it all. Any questions? Let me know, and I'll see you again next week.